Hello, people on the internet, and this is Paul here, and I'm in the process of rigging my BD-5J, which is kind of already rigged, and I did a preliminary release on Share CG, but I figured I'd show you what it works, what it does, and how it works. But basically, this is my BD-5J model here, which is originally made in Wings 3D, but I brought it in a blender, and I have some stuff on it. And if you look here, it has a remote control. So if I were to click on one of the controllers there, like this is a controller there, this controls the ailerons and the elevator. And I also have the rudder influenced by the turn. So the rudder is actually controlled a small amount by the aileron channel. But if I were to let that go, click on the rudder channel, under, bone constraints, I have a limited influence right here, but if I turn that influence to 0, I can actually turn off the rudder there. And right now I got the flaps sharing the rudder, and I'm thinking of changing this remote completely, but I might do that later on. And I also have animation channels for the gear and the canopy, so if I were to pull this down and go down here, come on, I do that, but if you can see, hold on a sec, the landing gear come out, and I still have that selected, so I should be able to just grab it and see landing gear goes up and down with that controller on the remote control, which is pretty neat, I think. So, and the current version I have at Share CG doesn't have struts on the canopy, but I'm in the process of adding struts to the canopy too. But I gotta redo the animation so it stays connected, because right now it kind of flies off a bit. Originally I just had the opening and closing, but I didn't have struts added. Or I guess they're not struts, they're like little supports. They hold the canopy in place when it's open, and originally I left that out of the model, so it looked kind of weird just floating in space, but a real aircraft has these little things that hold the canopy in place when you open it, so I gotta fix that a bit. And what else is there? Well, right now what I'm doing is I gotta zero these out. Hold on a sec. Should be good. Yeah, extra steps, but just want to make sure it's all right. So it's pretty neat that I got this model rigged to that extent. And what I'm doing now, if I can hide the canopy, is go to the instrument panel, zoom in a little bit there, and I actually have instruments on this model. And since the instrument panel is selected, on the instrument panel I have custom properties for each instrument, and I'm in the process of adding them. So if I were to take the power indicator, and that was the last one I worked on, and I click back on the instrument panel so I can get all these properties, I can go, where is it? The power indicator, and I drag that up to 100%, it goes to 100% on the dial, so it's pretty cool. So all these custom properties on the instrument panel, and I have one for fuel. I did fuel as well, so fuel gauge works by dragging a custom property. So you don't have to figure out where these things are and drag them, you just click on the instrument panel as a whole and then look up the custom property, which makes animating them a lot easier, I think. So I'm in the process of that. And I think I'll work on, what is it, the altimeter next? This one's the altimeter. Altimeter. And I don't have the calibration part textured yet, but I'm going to work on not the calibration, but one of the hands. So that hand is the hundreds needle, and I also have the thousands needle. So one whole rotation is 2 pi. But I gotta go back to the instrument panel to get those custom properties. Scroll all the way down here. And in this case it'll be altimeter. So right click on that and copy the data path. And sure, that will be in percentage because this is a 10 dial, so it could be 1/100th times 2 pi, I believe. So let's go to animation and make sure I'm centered on that. And let's see, where are my axes? It's not showing them right now, is it? Alright, why isn't it showing them the view? I don't know why it's not. Display only rendered it. Oh, I know why it's not showing them, because I don't have the origin set correctly for this. So let's get the origin on there first. Go back to default just because I have more space to work with. And go to edit mode. And what I want to do is hit A for all. Click that cursor. Is that about right? And what I need to do is mesh, snap, cursor to selected, and then go back to object mode, origin to 3D cursor. There, see, I gotta have the origin line up. And apparently there's some tilt to this. So, but the tilt is not showing up in the origin, so I gotta fix that too. So we gotta go back to edit mode, select all, and make the 3D cursor the pivot point, and I'm going to hit the backslash on the number pad to solo this. I don't know why my 3D cursor shifted, but alright. The solo cursor, I guess, is in a different spot. Snap again. Hit all. Hit 5 for ortho view. 3. And I believe it is off by 5 degrees. 5 degrees even looks about right. So go back to object mode. And now I gotta rotate it back by 5 degrees on the x-axis. Put it back in alignment. And that gives my origins right at YCXU there, I believe. There. Because it pivots along the Y here, so. Alright. That's my hundreds altimeter needle, so. Altimeter 100s needle. Doesn't need to rotate on that or that, so go on the Y axis here and add a single driver. Back to animation. Click on that. And I don't need scripted, just a sum value or average value, I guess, should be good. I got to go instrument panel. There, instrument panel. I don't need a transform channel, I just need a single property. If I remember right, I copied it already, so I just need to paste my data path, and yes, it's right there. Boom. But it's not quite correct, because right now the altimeter is at 650 feet. 100's needle should be 100th of 2 pi, I believe. So, gotta add a modifier generator. Yeah, you gotta know your math, people. You gotta know your math. You thought 3D graphics was that easy. So, if you're a young kid and you're interested in this kind of stuff, pay attention to math classes. It will be useful. So, 2 pi is the full rotation in radians. But we're looking at 100. So, I want to say pi times 2 pi times, what is it, 100th or? No, 1/10, right? Because it's. I'm trying to think here. No, 650. 2 pi times 100th. I'll go with that. 2 pi. Actually, 2 times pi divided by 100 is the same thing. Anyhow, it's going to convert to number in this because I'm not having it as a script. I believe that will work. So, and update dependencies. Still showing too low. It should be 650. Should be over here. No, the full circle is 2 pi. Times. Let's make it tenths. I think it might be tenths. Alright. Does that just rotate it all the way around? Dang it. Alright. So you do have to know your math. 2 times pi is the whole rotation of the circle in radians. And you want it described as tenths of rotation. Let me think about this for a moment. 2 pi times. It should be 1/100th, right? It should be right, because unless it's giving me a rounding error, in which case I might have to script it to force it to work. You know what, I gotta do negative, don't I? Alright. 2 pi. Ew, what just happened here? I'm not even dragging it and it flipped over on me. Negative 2 pi. Now I click on instrument panel and that should be showing 500 even right there. And it's showing 650. So it's 100, 200, 100. Let me think. Why is my altimeter not working correctly here? Well, see, this is one of those quantities at 3, so 0 should be at 0. Okay, full rotation is 1000. So actually, I should probably have it 1000. Maybe that's what I used, huh? So, animation already. I gotta click on the thing I gotta put. And to get it rotate the right way, I gotta do negative. So, negative 2 divided times pi by 1000. Now, it only shows 3 values, but hopefully it uses everything. And 0. Alright, it looks like I got it working correctly now. Okay, that's what I did. Now this is 100, so this actually should be interpreted as 1000. So now I got my altimeter $100 working. It's fine. So that goes up, and but I need to do the thousands dial as well. So let's do that next, just to make sure it works. Because in an altimeter, you don't want to adjust your 100 feet and 1000 feet needle. Mess around, screwing around with that. So what I need to do is click the 1000 feet needle and do the same thing. I should probably hide the 100 feet. Or I can just solo it like so. And it's the 1000 needle now. And alright. Alright. Move my rotation. There. So I do snap. And origin 3D cursor. 5, 3, and A for all. And I need to rotate it by 5 degrees. It just happens to be that much. I know you're probably like, all this, get that set up. Yeah. So, now you know what I go through to make this model rigged so it works all nice. Go back to object mode. Now it's going to poke through where I don't want it, so now I gotta rotate it back 5 degrees. Yeah. And I gotta lock this, lock that, and YZ Exular. And now add single driver to that, just like the other one. Back to animation. Oh, so it's all set up to go on that. And single property. You type in instrument panel. And I believe I still have the altimeter hooked up. Good, so that's ready to go. And we don't want it scripted, we want average value, I guess is fine. We add a modifier for generator. And we figured out, what is it, negative 2 pi. That was divided by 1,000, so in this case I'm going to do 10,000. And it just snapped to 1. So I don't even know if it can do the value I want to do. I probably have to script it in this case. Alright, let's see. Altimeter. Yeah, it's not working right. I'm going to have to script it, so it's being a pain in the butt. Go to the generator, and we'll change it to, where's it scripted? Expression. The stupid auto execution is disabled. Shoot. Every time, too. That's annoying. Auto run Python scripts. Get that crap out of the way, because that gets old fast. Okay. So dependencies. The scripted expression is -2 times pi divided by 10,000. I believe that's it. Because remember, with thousands was for hundreds, so, or the hundreds was 1,000, so this one is for every rotation, so that should be 10,000. Alright. So, that should be it, right? So, let's go back to the default. Click on here. Twitter. And it doesn't seem like it's doing anything. So when I go around, it should go all the way around. Huh. If I can select it. Right, come on. There it is. Oh, you know what I need to do is derp times the variable. Alright. Now it should be good. See how when you do scripted, you gotta use this variable down here. Just automatically multiply like a modifier does. So when you do that, you gotta make sure that variable's the same. Alright. Alright. That would help. Now I'm gonna click the panel here. And 1,000 feet. So I got a working altimeter on my aircraft here. Yay! 3,000, yeah. Nice. I'm going to do that for the rest of the thing, and Once I get all that done and get the animation for the canopy fixed, I'm going to upload the newest version to ShareCG, so it might be a little while. But it should be coming fairly soon, and I figured just let everybody know that this is what I'm working on. So if it's not done by this weekend, maybe sometime by next weekend. After all, it's a hobby, and I just do this on my own time. But if you haven't seen it already, this is my BD-5J. Rigged up and set up for Blender, so it's all cool, good to go. And I'll probably change this remote layout too, because I don't like the flaps and the rudder on the same channel, so I'm going to break those up and maybe change the slider layout. But we'll see. We'll probably just do the instruments first and the canopy. And if I get all of that, nice, I'll probably release that and then redo this thing. There you go. And you can download the currently rigged one, but it doesn't have all this extra stuff on it. It just has the remote, and it's like this, but yeah, I gotta work on the instrument panel. See you later, guys.